illusions of grandeur, reckless self-confidence of a buzz. Terribly impressionable, plague of his mother. Once bitten, twice shy. Served him jolly well right for putting his hand just where it said, "Do not feed the animals." Always being led on by his brothers, Daniel and Dominic. They aren't used to politeness. It upsets them. They certainly don't know the meaning of respect. They're still working on unpleasantness as a way of life.
Now, watch closely, Grandad. You might learn something you once forgot. Hello there, young Dan. You gave me a bit of a shock there. Look, let me show you a trick we used to do at school. Now, you take a clean hanky. Do you like magic? Your bones, Grandad. Yeah, you might as well start practicing. Here's a trick for you, you old dodderer. Now, watch closely. Now you see it, and now you don't. Oh, now come on, really.
Maybe she still had some hope with young Dirk.
And what's more, young man, this is the last time. From now on, you are not to play in any dangerous and uninhabited stretches of tropical rainforest after 9 o'clock in...
In the urban sprawl, a man that's so aptly named Crawley. The nearest stretch of uninhabited tropical rainforest, that lay about 3,500 miles to the south, in Namibia.
Mum, can we take Grandad out for a spin?
Yeah, but watch him carefully. He scratches so easy on sharp corners.
Yeah, fancy stretching your legs, old-timer? No, too much cholesterol. This calls for a jump start.
Mind your grandfather.
Nah, the exercise will do him good. Oh, let me go, I'm not a cripple. Look, Mum, no ends.
Good stick, please, Dan, my lad.
Stick, Dom. Stick, Dirk.
Right. Here's a little brain teaser for you.
Now, what crawls on 4 legs in the morning, 3 legs at lunchtime? I think he wants his hat and coat. Dom. Hat and coat, Dirk. Yeah, have you got it yet? Now, what crawls on 4, mind you, 4 legs in the morning, 3 legs at lunchtime, 2 legs between lunchtime and tea time, and then between tea time and going to bed, just the 1 leg. Well, actually, it's nothing to do with legs, it's more of a...
Dirk Mowgli, you do as I say. No taking sweets off people without paying for them first. No spending my hard-earned money on products you don't need. No listening to politicians.
No talking to shady salesmen skulking where the sun never shone. And especially no leaving school in favour of a highly paid but corrupt job in the city. Providing they behaved as his mother told him to behave, Dirk Mowgli might stalk Crawley and come out alive. But it was not easy surviving when enticements beckoned and all the
worst aspects of the capitalist
As I
order
was saying,
are conspiring to make the poor suffer. And let us not surrender the fight until the worst excesses of the Thatcher years have been beaten down. And we, the workers, have gained what is rightfully ours.
Go Dross!
Now hold on.
What it? Oh, save your breath, Grandad. It's only a student, innit?
No, I want to hear what she has to say.
Well, you were telling us, young lady.
Woman, if you please. Lady is a relic of years of servitude and mindless etiquette.
As you wish, but as far as I'm concerned, and that's not very far, I imagine, manners still make it man, or woman, and you are most certainly a lady. You will at least grant me the right to my own personal opinion.
Fair enough, but it changes nothing. At the end of the day, a world in which a minority of men holds the majority of the wealth is a world which seeks to divide and oppress. You will at least grant me the right to my opinion.
David, you're cunning and I respect you, but we're on the same side.
There are only 2 sides. Those who want change and those who resist it. You hardly qualify for the first.
Which is where you're wrong. Remember, Dylan, how many
Why
roads...
must I listen to on.
Not so. The location may be different. The faces are younger. But the prize remains the same.
Okay, old timer.
Young lady,
So where do we start?
by picking up my hat.
Buying a copy?
Hands off the old man!
Yeah, she pushing your back, Grandad.
How beastly the bourgeois is, and especially the male of the species.
Come again?
And the female of the species is more deadly than the male. Good hunting.
The worst aspects of capitalist order are conspiring to make us all so...
Oh, come on, Grandad. We should have brought his chair.
What chair?
You know, your wheelchair, your vegetable basket.
I don't need a chair. Look, my legs are fine.
I'll spare the lecture, Grandad, and tell us about the war. Oh, the memories are dim, but the spirit is still there. It were a good generation past when we... Nah! The war against senility.
Oh, excuse me, officer. You couldn't happen to tell me the time of the last dram, could you? About 56 years ago, Bob Martin.
Oh, look, is that our bus?
Peggy!
Young people out having fun. What am I saying? Bloody kids! Think they've done it all. No decency. I was young once too, you know. But there I go, slipping into mindless cliche. That's the trouble with us old folks. We talk in such banal northern stereotype. Now, we reiterate, having first instance, of course. Then we repeat, we re-echo, we recapitulate, and worst of all, we end up going over the same ground over and over again. Or at least that's how you see us. No decency, the kids, I mean. You bump into them in the street, they grunt, you grunt, they scream blue murder, and all the time I was just trying to tell them how my life was just as exciting when I was out playing with Harry and Buster and, what was that other one? The one who got injured in that freak Van de Graaff generator accident. But I said I was sorry, and he forgave me once he got out of hospital and could talk properly. In fact, he came round for toast, and together we listened to all 39 episodes of the Boa Experience, starring Norman Wisdom and Gary Wilmot. It wasn't my house. It wasn't my radio. It was the Fitzpatricks next door. But they were on holiday, so no one came to any harm. And that is why it was different then. Manners, yes, the manners. We knew the right time to say hello and very well, thank you, and oh, I'm sorry. How many other people knew your son was born with no head? Now, where was I? Mammals, matters, manners, yes, the manners. Bloody politicians, another lot with no manners.
Well, I think that's a characteristically disappointing result for James Walsh there. Meanwhile, here in Westminster, the corridors of power are literally groaning under the weight of a hard day's mudslinging. Tarnished reputations are in the balance, allegations are flying, and all those with more than a passing interest in the English language are taking to the hills as metaphors and similes are juxtaposed in a quite shocking act of literary slaughter by media hacks such as myself. So what the hell is really going on here? Intense speculation surrounds the career of former gangland boss and father of three, Terry the Tiger Townsend, MP for West Hertford East and one-time condiment advisor to the Foreign and Commonwealth Office. During his time in this post, Mr. Townsend is alleged to have diverted large amounts of brown sauce, unknown to his colleagues, into a large unmarked Zurich bank account, thereby flooding the vaults with this spicy blend of fruit and vegetables, and drowning several bank clerks, and leaving behind that kind of sticky aftertaste which you always associate from smothering your food with said substance. At the same time, Mr. Townsend secured various contracts for companies all owned by his family. He ate 13 and a half orphans and failed to attend a single parliamentary sitting.
Far be it for the press to prejudge a public figure, but you will of course be pleading guilty in the face of the overwhelming evidence.
Well, clearly allegations have been made against person or persons in a position of sensitive responsibility.
Against you, Mr. Taz, let's be clear on this
Against
point.
persons or persons in a position of sensitive responsibility, in which case the normal course of procedure may or may not necessarily apply.
You mean there's one rule for one and one for everybody else?
I mean what I say, young lady. And in my present position, the victim. Oh, yes. And might I add, helpless victim of a base set of preposterous lies and falsehoods, I feel I can do no more.
Mr. Taz, you really don't
Seems like a good laugh. Certainly gets my vote. Bit fucking drab, but gets my vote too.
And mine. If I could vote.
Well, in that case, turn it over. You heard him, Run. Change the channel.
He was talking to you. Yeah, adverts. I'm in the mood to be duped.
Nervous headache? What you need is the Dr. Slither sachet. Because the Dr. Slither sachet comes in a handy sachet. Available any time of the day or night. You've caught her eye, haven't you? She likes your look, your style. Oh, that smell. When did she last see water? She's coming towards you. Wait! A Dr. Slither sachet might save your skin! Oh, sensational! Now, try your hand. She's in your flat, and you have to make the first move, don't you? Well, now's the time. Ask her for a coffee. What? You've run out of instant granules? A disaster! She's growing impatient. Wait. Reach for a Dr. Slither sachet. Perfect coffee. Any time of the day. Or night.
Wow! We gotta buy a jar! But we ain't got any money. Then we'll have to steal some. Quick, before the shop shut.
But it's only 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, and the nearest store is 3.5 hours walk away. Come on, we got things to do. People to see.
Shops to live. Help!
But Mowgli could only struggle helplessly. His brothers had cruelly stapled him to the chair. Life might seem harsh for a little man growing up in a big world, but the price of food was high, and a curse was suffice to say. That's very sad. How many other people knew your son was born with no head? The streets of Crawley were tarmacked, just like any other town. Deceit and vanity drove men. Men, for the most part, drove big cars. Such was the life of this impressionable young Crawley. But Dirk Mowgli was cocky and uncouth. He might, if he was nimble, escape the claws of the politician. He might, if he was deaf and blind, shun the temptation of the useless consumer good. But Dirk Mowgli could not escape the inevitable. You can. I studied maths and business at school. Morning late on a direct commuter route to the city, only 32 minutes into Waterloo. He knew one day they would come. They would strip him of his homely manners, place a huge salary in his tiny hands, and carry him off for their own, to the ruined city, the city of London.
Join us, Mowgli. There's a place for you on our team.
Why, Mowgli? Profits are up and away!
Join us, child. You know it makes sense.
And Sterling, what? And Jan!
And especially Kruger,
Sell everything. Don't be afraid to take risks.
But above all,
Sell yourself at the earliest opportunity.
And at the highest price.
Wait! It's Dow Jones on the line. He's worried about his index. Oh my God! Colombian beef cakes at 4 pence.
Stockbrokers down! Find the sausage factory!
Trousers down! Buy a great deal of them.
everyone out here.
Cameroon! Argentina down!
Who were those men, Mummy? Well, so helpless, little one. You're so helpless. There is nothing we can do to protect you now. I can take care of myself. Go to bed. Go to bed. I'm so sick of this perennial parent-child relationship that I've been cast in. And why did she call me Mowgli? What's wrong with dirt?
Mowgli! Let me lay before you 5 continents of the world. Your own house, a bright future for your family. No war, no weapons, no promises mine. Now here's your half of the bargain.
Hey! What are you doing in my house? Go away! Now, where was I? Dreaming. Wait. If this is a dream, then come back. They're only fig rolls of my fevered imagination.
But fig rolls they most certainly were not.
My child, look better. Are you taking anything for that fever imagination? Relax. The villain will warm down one of Dr. Slither's sachets. Relax. Your purse.
Sell everything, Mowgli. Don't be afraid to take risks. But above all, sell yourself at the earliest opportunity and at the highest price.
My child, look into my
There's
eyes.
only one choice, Mowgli. Don't let this get messy. Bye, Mowgli. The time is right. Bye.
Let all the jungle hear this! That the council of the Seeonee wolves gathers while the moon is but the young castle of the night. There they judge the case right before them. They look into the seeds of time and see which will grow and which will need watering more regularly. There they judge the fate of the one they call Mowgli. Kneel before Akela. Akela the father. Akela the Nera. Akela the omnipotent.
You get up off the floor. What in heaven's name do you think you're doing? I hardly think this is behavior suitable from a woman of your age, even if you were elected secretary last week.
Oh, shame! It was rigged. You hid the ballot box in your garden and expected us to find it at 10 pence a go.
And Mrs. Crump found it. So she won, and besides, this is a formally constituted meeting, and you haven't written your complaint down, so you can't speak.
Oh, this is a bitter indictment of
Right,
pantomime
I call this meeting to order. you. Item 1, apologies for absence.
I really am very, very sorry, but I haven't touched a drop since I was 15.
Abstinence. Abstinence.
Oh, I know.
Right! Item 2, the man cub.
I seem to have missed out a large portion of my life somewhere along the lines.
At risk of losing you completely, let me explain. Mowgli, being the focus of his attention, has thrown the jungle into some confusion. He's a man cub, and a very youthful one at that, so they can't kill him. And then he's not a wolf, so they can't raise him. Let the boss explain.
The child must be adopted. Alone, he would not survive beyond the rise of the next moon.
Impossible. The boy belongs in the village. To take him in would be a curse on the pack.
Thanks for your concern, but I'm perfectly capable of taking care of myself.
Yes, and what would you do for food,
No, Arcana, no decision is the wrong decision. I remain implacable.
I'm sorry, could you spell that?
Try firm, dear.
If they've already started implacable.
Well, close it out, then!
Shere Khan is abroad!
It means he's here.
Here, Shere Khan, man's most implacable enemy. Shere Khan, who threatened to skin any man cub that crossed his path.
If we all stick together, stiff upper lip and all that.
Shut up. Your interjections are neither called for nor amusing at this juncture. Shere Khan, man's most hideous, man's most hated, most utterly...
Devilishly handsome beast in the whole jungle. Good evening to you, Council. Not too late for your feature presentation, I trust. Good! He's here already. Splendid fellow, Mowgli. Bored of all this senile old rambling?
Shere Khan, I must remind you that while you stand before the Seeonee Council, you are bound by the law of the pack. The man cub is in our possession.
Nonsense! He's free to roam. And so am I.
You must accept our decision, Shere Khan, and the cub stays here to be brought up in true Seeonee fashion by... any volunteers? Mrs. Crumb.
Arthritis. Don't need anyone. What's all the fuss about?
Quite so, young man. Akela, it would give Shere Khan great pleasure to...
I do believe that Baloo the bear still plays a part in this.
Pathetic bear! Still waddling about like a tired jackass.
Arcana, I'll look after the child for you.
Granted, decided, accepted anything you want. Write it down, Mrs. Crumb. Write it down before he changes his mind. Any objections?
No.
Fascinating combination. Ignorant youth and rampant traditionalists.
Here. Can't possibly work.
No, this can't do.
I hear the pasta. Why ears can't snake? Only less glamour.
To back with the jackal.
Alright, glamour isn't everything.
No, Baloo. I couldn't let you do this alone. The child is our responsibility.
Look, aren't I going to get a say in all this?
Oh, quiet. Don't be so insolent.
Baloo, the jungle law
Please,
states...
Settled! The matter is decided. Shere Khan, partnership is forged.
No, Akela. The problem is merely shells. Good hunting, man cub. You can run. And you can probably hide. But Shere Khan will sniff you out. You may rely on that.
Come along, Council. Come along, Mrs. Crumb.
When do we start?
You start by telling me what there is to learn that I don't already know.
Oh, well, may I begin?
At your own pace, my friend.
Every journey starts with a... Every journey begins with a... Look, what I mean to say is
The
that...
law, Baloo. Why don't you tell him about the law?
Yes, the jungle law, which you must never forget, little frog.
I'm not little. I'm not a frog. And I'm not sitting here while you tell me about no law.
Innocent youth.
Meaning it.
Meaning I know what I mean.
Meaning he's confused.
What's this?
Now that is the book of the jungle law. Feel free to browse.
But it's empty.
Astounding observation. Tell him, Bagheera.
My first is in chord, but never in script. My second is in chant, but never is writ. My third is in knowledge, your mind must be sure. And good hunting all who keep to the law.
I give up. What's the answer?
That was the answer. Though to be fair, there was no question.
That was the riddle of the jungle law, and also its first lesson. The law has been passed down from father...
When will he ever learn? And mother, Baloo, and mother...
By call and cry, by squeal and shout, but never has a word been written down.
An unwritten social constitution.
And there ends the first lesson.
So it's lunchtime.
So it's time for lesson 2. The jungle cares for its young,
Which is you,
but without the young, there would be no old.
which is him.
And without the old, who would teach the young?
Well, they could read it from the book.
As man is cursed by a splitting hair, what was the first law I taught you?
Something about an unwinding social convulsion?
No.
Conspication?
No.
Carlin Welland?
Look, let's move on to the third law. The kill belongs first to the cub, then to the weak, then to the old, then to the strong, and lastly to Tabaqui the jackal.
Kill the deer, the pig,
Kill at night.
sleep under the sun.
Know that the law binds us all. Play beneath its boughs, for its shadow is long.
Fear no one,
But beware the three who hunt Mowgli.
for Mowgli is the sworn enemy of Kaa the Snake. Kaa the Temptress, whose charms could beckon a nut from its shell.
A fruit from its... flan?
Kaa the Snake, recklessly give the five beginners. Beware Kaa, scorn her, mock her. Take care never to look into her eyes. Never look in her eyes.
Look upon the monkey tribe and know a disordered people who aren't there. They are forever searching, but they don't know what they're looking for. For they have no leader, and yet 1,000 leaders.
Mowgli, they will hunt you, for you have the one prize that eludes them.
Will you stop talking like this?
Like what, pray?
Well, like that. All this knew not what stuff and praying. And what's this prize that I've got?
You're human, but they're not. You laugh.
They jabber.
You cry.
They jabber.
You show respect.
And they keep on...
Yeah, now it's recording and you should be getting some wheels going round in it. Let's just take a bit of the band as test footage. Rex, stand by. Is it doing that?
Bagheera!
Now, you'll probably remember, unless you're a goldfish bowl, because a goldfish bowl only has a memory span of 15 seconds. But that's all right, because there are no goldfish bowls in tonight's audience. Because I know, because I checked. See, goldfish bowls don't make very good audience members on account of their relatively poor clapping ability. I may go so far as to say this is pretty far out on the limb, as we were talking about goldfish bowl limbs. Anyway, if it hasn't got any limbs, then how does a goldfish bowl? Which is a rather contorted way of saying that when you left us, Mowgli was bemoaning his shortness. Baloo had skipped off. Mowgli had pretty soon remembered that it was well past his lunchtime.
Baloo! Bagheera! Hello? Baloo, I'm sorry about all those things I said about you being old. Well, you are, but I don't suppose there's anything wrong in that. Baloo, I'm sorry. Baloo! I'm really, really, truly, honestly sorry, and I promise I won't do it again.
Forgiven.
Baloo, I'm hungry.
could kill for a steaming, fresh.
Which makes two of us, but I do so detest eating man on an empty stomach. Here.
Thanks, Baloo. Except you're not Baloo.
Interesting shout for such a small boy. Oh, well, you're a man cub, so I suppose that counts for something. Come here, little frog. I'm not going to hurt you. Human flesh bruises so easily.
Baloo.
Baloo. Looks like the bear with no brain that he is. Now I, Shere Khan, a fellow of most well-placed and well-respected origins, do give you my word. A humble offering for so deep and heartfelt an understanding that henceforth there exists between us certain irrevocable responsibilities that I would be hard-pressed, nay, extremely hungry to break. Thank you. We understand one another.
We do?
Pray, Mowgli. Pray. Do sit beside me. And, pick the meat from under my nails? Okay, so we'll forget the meat picking for the moment. Relax, eat!
So, what's all this man's implacable tiger enemy stuff anyway?
You shouldn't believe everything people say, Mowgli. That was fantasy. Or maybe fiction.
What?
Let's play a game. You close your eyes and tell me the first thing that comes into your head, beginning with E.
E for evil. Your turn.
E for eating. Epicure. Edible. Crunch.
Hey,
Munch.
you haven't
What is this intrusion?
The decree of the C&E Council is law, Shere Khan.
If I choose to break it, Baloo!
Then Bagheera the panther stands in your way.
And Baloo the bear, called the Aged by those who knock him, stands, well, just a little bit behind.
Let me tell you a cautionary tale. There once lived in the jungle a very cute, fluffy, cuddly, but very dead bear called Baloo. One evening, Baloo had been out wandering in the jungle. For the briefest moment had forgotten to stay alert for Shere Khan the tiger. And Shere Khan the tiger had wasted not a second in surprising the bear and skinning the very hide from his back. Before crying out, "No! Animal denies Shere Khan what is rightfully his, and lives to tell the tale!" End of story. Baloo.
Mowgli,
Yes, Baloo?
sorry, Mowgli.
Baloo?
Careful, Baloo, that hit me.
Baloo, this isn't the way.
You hit me again.
Granted.
This isn't the way to teach the law, Baloo. You must counsel him carefully and needs adult understanding.
And a bit of respect beaten into him.
Studies prove that the repeated clubbing of young offenders provokes alienation from society and a submerged desire to continue the crime.
Mowgli, who is the sworn enemy of man? And who will try to deceive you with caramel talk and clever...
Vocabulary?
Precisely, and clever perambulatory?
Shere Khan, beware Shere Khan.
And what do you say if a strange tiger offers you fruit, Mowgli?
Sheer boredom, Baloo. Skull-numbing tedium.
Oh?
How about I teach you something for a change?
Good.
What's good?
Now keep talking.
Baloo, listen to me. Stop grinning.
You're even beginning to act like a bear.
No, Baloo.
Yes! Yes! Congratulations, Mowgli. You have wisdom. You have insolence. You have Bagheera and myself. Welcome to Beardom!
I knew it!
Look for the bare necessities, those simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean those bare necessities, dear mother.
life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder of my big home. The bees are buzzing in the trees and making honey just for me. When you look under the rocks and plants and take a glance at the fancy ants and maybe try a few.
Ugh, you eat ants. They're disgusting.
Suit yourself, just leaves more for everyone else. The bare necessities of life will come to you. Well, they'll come to you. Look for the bare necessities, those simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean those
Bare necessities?
Yeah, because you know, they're Mother Nature's recipes, and they bring those bare necessities of life. Now when you pick a pawpaw or a prickly pear, and you pick the wrong paw, well, next time, beware. Don't pick the prickly pear with the paw. When you pick a pear, try to use the claw. But you don't need to use the claw when you pick a pear of the big pawpaw. Well, have I given you a clue?
Well, at least I know how to pick fruit now.
The bare necessities of life will come to you.
He's mad.
Baloo, stop being so irresponsible!
Hey, come on, Baggy, get with the beat! Yes!
No, because I was a suspicion. I know what's coming next.
Remind me!
It's the existentialist part about realising how the worries of this life are unimportant.
Is that all?
And there's the Buddhist meditation bit at the beginning.
So you know... So you know, you just gotta try and relax.
Cool it.
What a party! My backyard!
Let me tell you something, little frog.
If you're acting like that bee,
You're working too hard.
little you spend the time looking around.
There's something you want. That can't be found.
When you find out you can live without it,
And go along without thinking about it.
we'll tell you something true. The bare necessities of life will come to you.
They'll come to me.
They'll come to you. Now it's your turn.
Look for the bare necessities, those simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. Necessities of Mother Nature's recipes. Bring the bare necessities to me. They'll come to me. They'll come to me. Ugh! I sound like a Disney film.
Don't be shy. I won't bite. I'm not that kind of snake.
I know who you are, and I'm going to talk to you from just over here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't looking for a cub. I was looking for the man they call Mowgli.
Hey, listen, Mowgli.
Men are so difficult to persuade. Mowgli, Mowgli, what a simply sublime name. Let's pretend I'm Salome. Maybe you have a soft spot for little girls.
Ugh, little girls.
Something more scholarly, perhaps? Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? My love is as a fever. And my lover's eyes are nothing like the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips be red.
Hey, what's so special about your eyes?
I want to be loved by you, just you, and nobody else but you. I want to be loved by you alone. You. I want to be kissed by you, just you, and nobody else but you. I want to be kissed by you alone.
So, I then say to you, I'm not very taken by that round design. And what do you say? Hopeless. It's all here in the Tupperware Sales Manual, Part 4. How to deal with particularly difficult customers and snakes.
Oh, look, this is never going to work, Bagheera. No, can't we try something else?
Like,
Lingerie?
they were all out of lingerie. And anyway, Carl never expects us to be selling Tupperware. She's bound to have a weakness for household implements, attractively moulded in coloured plastic.
Well, let's hope so. Remember, Mowgli's life depends on this. Ding dong. Good afternoon, madam. We are Tupperware salesmen. We were in your area.
Not today, thank you.
Well, not even a glance. We have them in a range of 7 colours. Not one of them orange.
Well,
Let's start with the picnic mug. It's light, it's portable, it's 100% snake-proof.
now you come to mention,
And we have them in a range of 3 sizes, each exactly the same, to match your ever-expanding needs. Now get Mowgli.
Why me?
Because you're a woman. And the woman who would be better at doing that sort of thing than an old dodger like me. I can see that a snake in your position finds itself making a lot of soup.
Hey, perhaps you have it in a blue.
Let's see. Yes, what can I say? Blue is far more...
Blue!
And the match of tuck box?
Well, let's have a look in here. Is it Bagheera? Can't you see I'm on the verge of a major deal here?
Baloo, is your mind really that decayed? What does this say to you?
Monkey droppings. Monkey droppings? My Mowgli!
Oh, Mowgli!
My lunch!
This is all your fault, Cass.
Curse you, Bear. It would have been a fair kill.
He was under my
Oh, he's
protection.
free to walk out of our relationship anytime.
Well, he was paralyzed from the feet up.
Baloo! Look at this.
What, today's paper?
And
It's all crumpled?
it's a late edition. So they were here at most 3 hours ago. Which means they can't have gone far.
Car, you're obliged to help us find Mowgli.
Obligation, Baloo, is not a word I recognize.
Well, how about you owe us for the Tupperware?
I refuse to do business with men in beards. False beards? Oh, you think of everything. We have a deal. But only on my terms.
Well, I'll throw in a flan dish. It's oven-proof.
Done. But I have a feeling I shall come to regret this.
Carl, follow me.
Would you look at that? It's light. It's durable.
brown. You can put liquids in it. You know, they really don't make them like they used to today.
I've got you. Stole you right from under that stupid bear's nose. And I'm clever. Oh, no,
I've got you, Mowgli.
I drink blue!
I'm tired. Leave us.
Where am I?
I ask the questions! In the Rune City.
So, you're Louis.
I'm supposed to ask that!
Go ahead.
Right. So, you're the man cub.
Might be.
What? You're joking, of course. Yes, I can see you're joking, because you're kind of his height and his sort of...
How do you know? You've never seen me.
How would you know I'm Louis?
Because you just said so.
Yes, I did. What's it like living in the man village?
Not much different.
Aha! So you are a man, because only a man would know that. I treat you. I think, Mowgli, I can have anything I want from you. You're in my control.
Well, I'm in your palace, but I'm not sure about the control.
Control? You want to know what I control? The great King Louis?
Yes?
Far away. I'm all yours.
But you just said that I was all yours, and now you're mine.
So?
So, now you're me, and I'm you.
Well, that was me when I woke up this morning.
Look, Lou.
Who's you?
Who's you? How about...
Silence! I asked the questions.
Louis, what am I doing here?
I stole you.
That's how I got here.
I know, I'm so clever.
Louis, what exactly do you want?
Everything! Except the unpleasant bits. Like Drizzle. I could do without Drizzle. And I could probably go without lunch every now and then. Although that's not to say that lunch is unpleasant. In fact, I would go so far as to say I'm very fond of lunch. I mean, I'm an ape of very meager desire. Except, every now and then, I want to teach the jungle a lesson. And I want them to watch me. And I want them to do everything that I say. And I want to take that stupid law animal they all worship, and they all do everything it says as though it's some kind of god. And I'm not like that, because I'm Louis. And I've got everything that any ape ever lived, ever have wanted. Except, I'm better than them, because I've got Mowgli. And I know what they want. They want Mowgli too.
So what are you going to do about it?
Anything I want!
Such as...
Well, I can eat! Oh, but I'm not hungry. But I can swim! Oh, but I'm not wet. And I can't swim. Because I don't want to. And I can be like you. Because I'm the king of the swingers, a jungle VIP.
I've reached the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me. I wanna be a man, man cub. At last there is no doubt. And be just like ordinary men. I'm tired of punching out. I'm tired. I wanna be like you. Shoo-be-doo-be-doo, I wanna walk like you. Talk like you. You see it's true. Shoo-be-doo-be-doo, like me. Shoo-be-doo-be-doo, can I learn to be like someone like you?
So you want to be like me?
No, I want to be like you.
Because you just said so.
No, really.
Why should we?
It was a cunning plan to lull you into a false sense of security. Ah,
But I'm already your captain.
That's the point.
Foolish man cub!
You think you're our captain?
but actually, don't try to fool me, man cub. I made a deal with you.
No, you didn't.
Didn't I?
Not a sausage.
Must be somebody else. Don't be a cruel man cub. Clue me what to do. What I desire is man's red fire to make my dream come true.
Oh, fire. That's easy.
No, you missed the point somewhere along the line. I know how to make fire.
Well, then what are you talking about, you idiot?
I have a scheme, Mowgli. I want to make everlasting fuel.
Sounds like coal.
Looks like coal!
Forever and a day. That is my dream. I can produce it, package it, market it, and even sell it. Then the world will be
Very warm?
no.
Very light?
In my hands, and pay for the privilege.
So where is this fuel?
Team report. Brian.
We tried oranges. Too pithy.
Brian.
Well, Brian, we tried soil, but it just wouldn't light.
Brian.
Well, Brian, I think you'll find that leaves us with scones.
Scones?
Yes. Of course. However many you put out, there's always one left. Always
Everlasting.
So where do I fit into this world domination scheme?
Well, Mowgli. We just wanted somebody different to have tea with.
Splendid idea.
Right on the button of 4.
The beast, I'll tear him limb from limb.
There are 5 monkeys and 2 of us. A strategic weakness of 3.
No, I'm talking about Mowgli. I'm a bear. I like to eat and sleep in that order. Not go chasing after mindless youths.
Eat and sleep. That's the answer.
Bagheera, I don't think eating and sleeping is going to make 5 hyperactive apes give over their holy grail.
No, Baloo. What if they eat and sleep?
Oh, even grander. Excuse me, Mr. Extremely Volatile and Completely Unreasonable Monkey Creature. Would you mind lying down for a minute?
What time do they feed?
In about a minute and a half.
And who remembered to bring the highly dangerous snake with the venom-filled fangs? Oh, you will be caught. Getting my hands dirty. Not even if I let you practice on Baloo first. Done. Baloo, stand with your back to the car.
God's friend! Because that's what it is! Only you can't see it, because I'm too clever for you! Ill man!
Save it, Louis, save it.
Hello, Carl.
Your time, Louis!
Now, Carl, don't look at me like that!
No time to fret, Louis, your time.
Hello, I'm a reformed monkey!
Good hunting, Snake.
Good hunting, Baloo.
Who dares disturb Shere Khan?
Oh, it's you, Mowgli. Leave me in peace.
Shere Khan?
Leave it, Mowgli. Don't skip around with your precious balloon.
Shere Khan,
I'm not interested.
But what's
Quit squawking, Mowgli! Go back to the old man.
Don't belong to anyone.
We'll get closer to Shere Khan, gathering in self-confidence, and would probably tell him how we tricked Kaa. To which Shere Khan would draw back and exclaim with a touch of bathos that he wasn't really interested.
To which Mowgli would say he was.
Exactly. And then Shere Khan would begin by telling his wretched little story. Well, that's how I'd trap Mowgli if I was Shere Khan.
When do you think he would strike?
He'd allow the story to unwind a little first. Then, when Mowgli wasn't watching, swipe! That was good, Bagheera. He would scream.
But didn't speak.
Mowgli would survive one blow. Shere Khan would roar, and Mowgli would scream again. That's amazing, Bagheera. You must be the new Bobby Davro.
Baloo, where's Mowgli?
Oh, he went wandering off somewhere.
Shere Khan!
Quick, this way! Oh, I'll never forgive myself. Mowgli!
Oh, Shere Khan, you haven't seen...
Good evening, Baloo. Still waddling around like a tired jackass? I believe that was the phrase.
Mowgli? Huh. I'm so glad you're safe. We thought you'd fallen into a swamp or something.
Mowgli, are you all right?
Top of the world, Bagheera. And good evening to you. So glad you could both join me.
That's Shere Khan's hide, Baloo.
Well, I'm glad we've got that sorted.
Yes, things certainly are sorted.
So you'll be coming back with us now, then?
I've a slight confession to make. You won't be seeing a great deal of Shere Khan anymore.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
But you needn't worry about things being any different. You see, Baloo, Shere Khan was twisted. And he didn't make many friends in his life. But you, I'm afraid, are a dull bear. And you, Bagheera, you're a misguided afterthought. No, I think it's time for us to reorder our whole approach towards evil. There's so much more to indiscriminate slaughter than meets the eye.
I told you not to hit him too hard, Baloo.
Oh, nonsense. Look, what have you done with Shere Khan? I know you're only bluffing.
He met with an unfortunate accident. He fell under a stampede of cattle. There was really nothing I could do.
I think you might be right, Bagheera.
marble balcony overlooking the park. The honeysuckle blossom gently tripping over the trellis. The aroma of ground coffee!
No, Mr. Guard. That's Hampstead. This is heaven. Heaven. I'm in heaven. And my heart's so big that I can hardly speak. And I'll help you find the happiness you seek. When we're out together dancing.
Like a tender T-bone steak. When we're out together dancing.
But it doesn't thrill me half as much as dancing cheek to cheek